and welcome to Rebloom Room. I'm Kat, and I help Black women and other women of color find more joy in their lives through international travel and holistic self-care. If you love those topics like I do, please subscribe to this channel and hit notifications so you'll know when a new video drops. So today I'm talking about some ways to dine solo in a restaurant, because I watched a video by Shameless Maya and she talked about solo travel tips. But I felt like if you're a first-time solo traveler and you don't feel super comfortable even with, getting on a plane by yourself and going to a different country, you might feel uncomfortable even just going to a restaurant by yourself. And doing this is a great way to prepare and practice for your first solo trip. So I have some tips for you. The first tip is nobody really cares. Like, you might feel, especially if you're a Black woman or a woman of color, that you're in a new place and you might feel like you stand out. But really, and you might stand out depending on where you're going, but mostly nobody cares. Even if they're looking at you funny, whatever, most of the time, people don't really care. You're just like, ooh, look at that blue bird with the blue feathers. Interesting. That's kind of how you might appear to somebody who has not seen a person with a twist out before, or has not seen a Black person, who's 6 feet tall. Who knows? But it doesn't mean that, you shouldn't go to a restaurant by yourself or you shouldn't travel by yourself. People might look at you funny, then they'll move on, most 99% of the time. So just be comfortable with that. Know that that might happen, and it doesn't really matter. Two, if you walk into a restaurant and, okay, first of all, the waiter's not going to be like, when you say, table for one, please, they're not going to be like, table for one, what do I do? What do I do? Wait, let me look at my waiter manual. What do I do? Wait, table for one. This is confused. But it does not compute. Mind blown. Nah, waiter's going to be like, okay, table for one. Okay, there's a 12 top over there. I'm not going to set them at the 12 top. I'm going to set them at the table near the kitchen door, because nobody wants to sit there. Okay, if that happens to you and the waiter tries to sit you at the table at the kitchen door and it's not crowded, don't sit down at the table near the kitchen door if you don't want to. Look around, just pause, look around, and with a smile you could say, hey, can I sit at that table? I think that would be more my style. And they should say, yeah, sure, sit there. Don't sit down. Don't let them put baby in a corner. Your baby. Don't let them put baby in a corner. You sit where you want to sit. If it's not super crowded and you're not sitting at a huge table with one person, just sit where you want. And if that's not possible, sit at the bar. I love sitting at the bar. I used to sit at the bar all the time when I lived in New York. So I find it super comfortable. A lot of times, especially if you kind of make some eye contact with the bartender, and they have a tendency to become your friend, and they can look out for you if they're creepy people. And it's super helpful to make friends with the bartender if you're sitting at the bar. The other advantage of sitting at the bar is that you get served a little bit faster. So if you're hangry, like I tend to get, you'll eat faster and you'll be less hangry. The other benefit of sitting at the bar is you might rub shoulders with another solo traveler or two, and you might strike up a conversation, especially if, my next point, you're not eyes glued down into your phone. My suggestion for you when you're dining by yourself in a restaurant is to not bring your phone with, don't make your phone your dining companion. Maybe bring a book, bring your journal, bring a sketchbook if you're artistically inclined. And that way, if you have a journal or a sketchbook, you have something to do. You are not, blinders. Like, you look a little bit more approachable when you're kind of like, oh, I'm looking and I'm drawing, or I'm looking and I'm thinking and I'm writing in my journal. You're a little bit more approachable, and you're also interacting with your environment, which is the whole point of traveling, right? You're in the moment. You're in your environment. And people might be interested. Oh, what are you writing about? Or what are you drawing? And they might strike up a conversation. So that's kind of helpful. If you don't feel like writing or drawing, bring a crossword puzzle or a Sudoku if you got that kind of mind. Just anything that kind of you can do, something easy that doesn't take you out of the moment. Another option would be to sit by the window, or if the weather's nice, sit outside, and that way you can people watch. Really, looking at everybody going by is one of the funnest parts of traveling. How do people dress? What do people do? What are people up to? What are they saying to each other? All of those interactions that you get to observe when you're just sitting there and watching the world. So yeah, that leads to my next point, which is really see if you can take a moment and just savor it. You did all this work to plan your trip. You did all this work to gear yourself up to get here. And now you're in this restaurant in another country by yourself. You did it. So savor it. Enjoy it. Look around. Be where you are. Make eye contact with the bartender. Not creepy eye contact, just like, hey, you're my friend. Hey, you're going to bring me something delicious, And just smile a little bit. Enjoy it. Savor it. Be there. Be proud that you actually got yourself to this moment. You did it. Yeah. And what was my other point? Savor the flavor, people watch. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Is really the goal is get there and be there and enjoy it. That's really the goal of your traveling, I think, is just being there. That's a good bit. That's the good part. Okay. So, I created an affordable travel planner, just like a worksheet that you can use to map out your travel plans. So hit the link. There's a link in the description, so you can download that. And I hope this is helpful to you, because I really want you to feel comfortable as you're traveling, and I want you to get out there in the world and really enjoy yourself and feel comfortable as yourself doing this solo traveling thing. So, the other thing I wanted to say is if you need to take a bathroom break and you're solo traveling, either you can tell the bartender, hey, I'm still eating, don't let him take my plate away, or you can, it's like an old etiquette trick. So fork, knife, plate, my face is the plate. If you're not finished eating, this is a place where you're using a fork and knife and not chopsticks. I don't know what the rule is for chopsticks, but fork and knife go like this. That looks like it's going up my nose, but it's not supposed to. Okay, fork and knife, put it like this, uncrossed, like at 4 and 8 or whatever, so that the waiter knows I'm still eating. If you're done eating, put your fork and knife together and put them at 4 o'clock. That way the waiter knows you're done, they can take the plate away. But if you want to go to the bathroom and don't have the waiter take your plate away, go like this. That's a little etiquette tip from back in the day. Hopefully your waiter knows that too. So thanks. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye.